resources on there, everything from Credit Life that can help you get your credit score and your credit profile in position to qualify for the goals you've got. And those are all free resources. So if you go to YouTube and check out Credit TV, CREDI TV, smash the like button on a couple of those videos. Make sure you subscribe. It'll all be beneficial for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin this thing. There we go. We're going to pin this video right to the top of the free credit repair advice group on Facebook. And by the way, conversely, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to Facebook and join the free credit repair advice group. We are 75,000 people strong. All right. So that's incredible. I can't believe that we've gotten to this size already. We are literally within about 3 people of being 75,000 people strong. So it's been a kind of an exciting journey. But I wanted to welcome you all tonight. Tonight's topic. Now, we do a different topic. I do a different topic every Monday night for the daily credit report. I do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Do a different topic every single week. Now, this week, our topic is going to be something that people have talked a lot about lately, and we've seen a lot of posts for this. It's going to be all about collections. Collections, what to do with them, how to handle them, how to approach them, what are the best practices when it comes to collections and your credit report. So that's what we're going to jump into right now. That's what we're going to start off with. But before I get going on that, I wanted to give you all kind of a quick little blurb. If you would like to have your own credit coach, I've actually freed up some space in my portfolio of people I work with. Had a number of people graduate and buy houses. You've probably seen some of the results posted. There's been some real exciting stuff happening in the group. You've probably seen some results posted there, but I've had some people graduate the Credit Life program, and that has freed up space for more people. So if you'd like to have a discovery call, it's an initial call at no cost to you. It's to determine, if Credit Life's a good fit for you, if you're a good fit for the program, and it is to find out what's going on with your credit. I always ask the same things, by the way. I always ask what's going on with your credit, what are your goals, and what prompted you to reach out. Then we talk a little bit. I explain Credit Life, and we put together a plan, steps, get some action items, and get you enrolled in the services to get your score and profile in position for your goals. To go ahead and book that initial consultation, again, no cost, it's www.bookcoachjd, and you can see it right across the bottom. Oh, I'm on a delay. Look at that. Right across the bottom. There we go. Certified credit coach Jeremy Dysack today. Go to www.bookcoachjd.com. You can pick a day and evening, a time that works for you. There's no obligations for it. It's to find out if this is indeed a fit. www.bookcoachjd.com. All right. We are going to talk about collections, collection items, collections, charge-offs. How do we deal with these things? Just quick show of, well, I don't really have an opportunity. Oh, hey, thanks, Valerie. So you're the best. I love it. I don't really have the opportunity to do necessarily a show of hands. So give me some thumbs up, you guys. Give me some thumbs up, or give me some ones in chat if one of the things that you're dealing with is charge-offs of credit cards, charge-offs of open accounts, or collections. They could be medical collections, credit card collections, utility collections, child support collections. There are all different types of collections that do wind up on the credit report. So give me some thumbs up, give me some ones in chat to let me know that this is a topic that interests you and that you've experienced or are having experience with in your credit repair journey. Just, give me some thumbs up and let me know about that. So I wanted to start in tonight about the best practices when it comes to collection items and how to deal with collections on your credit report. Now, you're going to hear all sorts of advice from all kinds of groups on Facebook, and all different realtors may give you some advice, and mortgage lenders may give you some advice, and bankers will try to give you some advice. And these people are all giving you collections advice that's in their best interest. It's the thing that'll let them sell you the account. It's the thing that'll let them make a commission off the sale of the car, or make the mortgage commission, or make the real estate commission. They're all trying to just do the minimum things to get their commissions. Okay, that's reality. All right. You're not necessarily always going to get the best advice as far as overall credit restoration and financial wellness. Now, I've got no skin in the game. I don't have a reason for you to have amazing credit or not. I don't. Okay. So I've got nothing but the straight scoop for you. I got one job. That's credit. It's helping get your credit score and credit profile in position for your goals. That's literally my job: financial, overall, wellness, buying power, and getting you to your goals. Okay. So I'm going to give you the best practice, the best compliant practice, in conjunction with the FICO algorithm, in conjunction with how things report to credit, that'll give you the best likelihood of long-term success. So if you have collections on your credit report, step one, you're going to investigate those. Investigate those and investigate those. Every collection item that shows up on your credit report, you are going to investigate. Now, if the collection is still with the original collector, so for example, if it's in collections at Capital One because it's a Capital One card, you're going to send a verification letter to the credit bureaus, a verification letter to the credit bureaus, basically saying, prove it or remove it. Prove it's mine, prove it's real, prove it's late, prove that is the date of last activity, prove that's the date it was opened, prove that's the account number, prove that's the balance, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. So original creditors holding the collection, we're going to send an investigation letter to the credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, saying prove it. Because Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they are publishing unverified data. Not a lick of this stuff has ever been verified. They're literally publishing whatever they're paid to publish, okay? So you've got a right to go to these bureaus and say, hey, prove it or remove it, okay? Verify that it's accurate, and it's factual, and it's current, and it's correct, it's verifiable today, not back when Capital One reported it, but today. And if they are unable to verify that data as 100% accurate and factual, current, correct, and verifiable today, then by law, that information, that collection on the credit reports gets permanently deleted, gone, like it never happened from the credit report. Now, it does not mean the collection is gone. It does not mean the debt is gone. Debt and credit are two different things. Debt is what you owe, and credit is your history of being able and willing to repay in a timely fashion. But they lose access to reporting it to the credit reports, and that is extremely powerful. And in a moment, I'll explain why. Why is this powerful? So, if the collection is with the original creditor, for example, Capital One's collection department internally is collecting on behalf of the Capital One debt, you send an investigation letter to the bureaus. All right, second kind of collection, a third-party collection. This could be a medical collection that got sold to ABC Collection Company and they're now trying to collect. It could be their Capital One card eventually got charged off and sold over to Midland, and Midland or Portfolio Recovery or LVNV or Enhanced Recovery or any of the big collection agencies, those third parties are trying to collect, and they're reporting. Third-party collections, okay? Now, remember, that first-party collection, when Capital One was collecting on Capital One stuff, they're one party, there's just one of them, that got an investigation letter to the bureaus. Third-party collections, we're going to do a couple things here. One, investigation letters to the bureaus. So a letter to every single credit bureau that it's reporting to. A letter to Equifax saying, prove it or remove it. A letter to Experian saying, prove it or remove it. A letter to TransUnion saying, prove it or remove it. So you're going to send investigation letters just like you would on that first party collection. but you're going to send something else. Third-party collection companies are going to get their own letter. So you send to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion saying, prove it, prove it, prove it. But you're going to do a fourth letter, another letter, and you're going to send that directly to Midland or Portfolio Recovery or Enhanced Recovery or LVNV or whatever collection agency. That letter you're going to send is called a validation letter. A validation letter. So the investigation letters that are going to the bureaus, those are verification. Verify that this number is right. Verify this is the date of last activity. Verify that's my account number. Verify I was late in March of 2019 when you said I was, okay? Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, verify, verify, verify. But when you're sending directly to the people who are trying to collect from you, Midland, LVNV, Enhanced Recovery, Portfolio Recovery Services, whatever collection company, you're going to send them, in addition to the work you're creating with the bureaus, you're going to send them a validation letter. Validation is show me stuff. Show me stuff to prove that this is a valid debt, that you're in standing to collect on it, that this money is actually owed, that this is actually my debt. Show me stuff. Okay, so a validation letter, you may have heard the term 609 letter. 609 letter. If you heard the term 609 letter, what a 609 letter, what the name is referring to is Section 609 of the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which covers validation. So some people, just as a shortcut, call it a 609 letter, okay? So a validation / 609 letter, that's going to go to the third-party collection agency. They go to third parties who are collecting on behalf of someone. Investigation letters, in that case, will go to Equifax, Experian, and the TransUnion. And you're going to say, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. If you can't prove it, you got to remove it, right? So we've covered first-party collections. We've covered third-party collections. And of all the kinds out there, that's them. First party or third party. And the difference is, are you sending to the bureaus saying, prove it or remove it? Or are you also sending to the third-party collection agency saying, validate it? Now, if you go to the file section of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group and you go to an article called Pro Tips, I have a link in that article that will take you to sample investigation letter templates and sample 609 letter templates that you can use absolutely free. Now, before we go any further into this, I want to cover a couple of collection misconceptions. These are big ones, you guys. These are big misconceptions. They are very much ingrained in a lot of people. And I want to make sure that we're giving, that I'm giving clarity to these things. I want to make sure that, that you've got the right approaches on this and the right information. And I'm going to give all that to you right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, so we have covered the verification letter for first-party collection agencies. That's like Capital One collecting on behalf of Capital One. And we've covered verification and validation letters. Those are for third-party collection agencies. So Midland or Portfolio Recovery or Enhanced Recovery or LVNV or whomever collecting on behalf of the creditor, and that could be medical, also medical collections, and they get the investigation letters. Those go to the credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and then they get the validation letters that goes directly to the third party collection agency. Now, I want to cover some important misconceptions so that we have some clarity on this stuff. Okay, number one. A lot of people will pipe in and say, hey, the first step you want to do is you want to call them and you want to work out a pay for deletion. You want to call your collection company, call the creditor and tell them you'll only pay if they delete, and get it in writing first. Make sure you get it in writing and all that, okay? That's not correct. That is B as in B, S as an S. That is not the first step. Here's the rub, okay? The vast majority of collection agencies in the United States will not do a pay for delete. I repeat, most collection companies will not do a pay for delete. And there's a good reason for it. It's because it violates their contract with the credit reporting agencies. Okay, so when they are reporting the negatives and the things like that, the account information to credit, they are essentially under penalty of law attesting that this information is 100% accurate that we're reporting. Now, if they work out a pay for delete with you, what they go back to the bureaus and go, hey, yeah, remember I said it was accurate? Just kidding. Just kidding, delete it. Just kidding. I was kidding. It violates the contract with the people that the collection companies use to report the credit. It's a violation, and technically, you want to get real technical, it's a violation of the law. They're only allowed to publish things that are accurate and real. So most companies don't do it. Now, some companies do, Jeremy, right? Okay, here's why you don't start out with pay for delete. Number one, hi, my name's Jeremy, and hey, Midland, I've got a collection that you guys say I owe $1,000. I will pay you $500 today if you'll agree to delete it. You won't. Oh, okay, bye. In that scenario, I just called a collection company, told them I had money, told them I was desperate to have something happen. I'm desperate to have that deleted from my credit. And then, because they didn't take my deal, I refused to pay. In that scenario, you can generally expect to be sued very, very, very quickly after you make that telephone call, because you've told them that you have money, you have told them you're motivated, something's standing in your way, and you have done a refusal to pay. Now, yes, I know there are some companies that, as a matter of course, because they've lost lawsuits or whatever, and this is their settlement, I know there are a number of companies that will, as a matter of course, do a pay for delete. I'm going to give you another example. Take Enhanced Recovery. Enhanced Recovery will do a pay for delete. So will Portfolio. We'll do Portfolio. All right. Hello, Portfolio. My name is Jeremy, and you have a collection that you say I owe for $1,000. I would like to have it. I saw you guys do deletions. What will you take on that? You take $995, 999 cents. So you take like a penny off that, right? Oh, but if I act now, you'll take $200 off, right? 80% settlement. Okay. Now, here's the deal. If you don't take that on the spot, you've already told them you have money, you've already told them you want something, and you've made a refusal to pay. So if you hang up the phone, expect to be sued. Now, the average settlement in the United States on credit card debt, for example, is 45%. But you've initiated this. You went right out of the gate. You've got no bargaining chips. They've got something you want. They're holding your credit hostage. They can get maximum money out of you with the promise of deletion. Now we're going to back up. Let's say you had done the proper first step, investigation letters to the bureaus and validation letters to Portfolio. And your investigation letters worked. The item got deleted before you paid. Now it's a very different phone call. Hi, Portfolio. My name is Jeremy, and it looks like I have $1,000 collection with you guys. Yeah, how much would you take for something like that? $999.99. So that's funny. That's funny. How about, what happens if I pay you nothing? Oh, you'll stay on my credit and inhibit my ability to obtain financing in the future and lower my score and it'll hurt my rates. Really? Sorry, buddy, you couldn't even do that correctly. Now, what do you take on a deal like this? Suddenly, it's the golden rule. You've got the gold. They don't hold any cards. You can make some of these rules. That's how you get the 45% settlement. You don't get it by going, the first thing I'm going to do is, piss in the Wheaties. I'm going to wreck this whole thing, and I'm going to call. I'm going to tell them I have money. I'm going to tell them I want something that I'm not going to pay because I'm going to try for a pay for delete. Wrong. Pay for delete is never, ever, 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 ever the first step. The first step is investigate. It's validate. Okay, so have we covered that? Does this make sense to you guys? What I'm saying, does this make sense to you? Give me some ones, give me some thumbs up if what I'm saying does make sense to you. Another misconception, a vast misconception, medical collections. You have heard, and I promise you, you have heard that medical collection, well, if they send my info, that's a violation of HIPAA, HIPPA, HIPAA violation, and that has to get deleted because they violated HIPAA. B as in B, S as in S. Number one, I promise you, everyone who tells you it's a HIPAA violation spells it HIPPA. HIPAA is HIPAA. So if they're too stupid to know how to spell it, you got no business listening to them for any other information, okay? Now, HIPAA violations. HIPAA itself has a provision within it that allows the sharing of medical information. I don't care if it is saying that you went to the proctologist and got his whole fist up there. I don't care how detailed it is. HIPAA has a provision to allow for the sharing of this medical information, right, for normal business purposes. Well, guess what? Billing is a normal business purpose. And if you don't pay that bill, collection is a normal business purpose. So no, it's not a HIPAA violation. But I heard that no, it's not a HIPAA violation. But my nurse said no, it's not but my lawyer said no, it's not a HIPAA violation. Okay? Don't try to be tricky. This isn't tricky. It's very basic. Investigation letters to the Bureau's validation letters to third-party collection agencies. Here's a fun one. Well, what if I send them a check and on the back write, by cashing this, you agree to settlement in full, and you agree that you'll take it off my credit, and you'll agree I'm attractive and have lots of hair on my head. Right? That works. I heard it in a group. That's B as in B, S as in S. Doesn't matter what kind of conditional endorsement, by the way, that's what you're doing. Doesn't matter what type of conditional endorsement you put on it, the second you mail that check, your creditor is fully within their rights to deposit it or cash it or whatnot, take that amount off what you owe them, and continue to collect the rest. So yeah, you're not that clever, and neither is the person who told it to you. Oh, but I heard it worked for my aunt. It didn't. But it worked for me. It didn't. You just didn't understand what happened. It didn't. Okay. So these are some misconceptions. So first step is never pay for delete. First step is a HIPAA. No, it's not a HIPAA violation. First step isn't to try to get fancy with what you put on the check. And the last thing, you've probably heard from someone, never pay a collection company. You don't owe them a dime. They bought it for pennies on the dollars. You don't owe them a dime. You don't owe them any money. You only pay the B as in B, S as in S. When you signed up for your credit card, when you took out the loan, even when you signed your name or didn't sign your name because it was implied consent because you were bleeding and you were taken to the hospital, okay, in all of those papers, there is a provision. It's called an ISAOA clause. It's successors and or assigns or assignees. That is you agreeing to the chain of title for this debt. You, when you take out the debt, have already agreed that they can move it on to a collection agency and that you'll pay them. So that's B as in B, S as in S. You pay the collection company. You don't try to, I'm going to try to outsmart them, go around them. No, you pay the collection company. Trying to outsmart them, go around them is usually almost a guarantee that you're going to end up with multiple things reporting and your credit's going to be real screwed up. Okay. So misconceptions. We've covered some of the main misconceptions. If there are any misconceptions that I have not covered, go ahead and put them in chat and I'll try to cover them for you. But again, when it comes to collections, yes, you can settle. Absolutely, you can settle. The national average on credit card collections is 45%. That means you owe $1,000. The average settlement is $450. Now, your mileage may vary. You may piss off the collection agent, or it might be a contract that they have with the company that they can't go under 55. Well, guess what? That's very real. They're not going to tell you that if it's not the truth. Okay. So collections, how to deal with them out of the gate, and I promise you, most of you are out of the gate right now. Out of the gate, it's going to be investigate with the bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. 609 letters, validate with the third-party collectors. It's not a HIPAA violation. Don't try to get magical with the checks. Don't negotiate a settlement and then not pay it and demand things and let them know you have money and get off the phone because that'll get you sued. And yeah, that's it. You know what? I want to answer. Looks like we have a few questions here. Wow, quite a few questions. What I want to do is I'm going to go in here. I want to make sure that I cover every single. And by the way, if you guys have any more questions, it doesn't have to be on collections. This is your time. Put it down in the comment section. Put it in chat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through here really quick. I'm going to answer each and every one of your credit questions right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer code.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Yeah, that cat must be a genius, suggesting that Jeremy guy. He's apparently very attractive. All right, let's hop in. I get ahead of myself. Let's hop in, and I'm going to take a look at the questions you guys have from. Oh my gosh, is that what I sound like? Huh? Let's turn that off. All right, so I'm going to answer. I'm going to go through. I'm going to answer your questions, and if you have a question and you haven't had a chance to ask it, go ahead and throw it in the comment section, and I will address these at the very best that I can here. All right, so got a question from Nick. Nick says, Jeremy, how do we get info on raising our FICO 8 auto score without an auto loan? Is that even possible? Yes, Nick, it actually is possible. Now, an auto loan. Auto loans are installment loans. It's where you take out a set amount of money and you make equal installment payments to the loan until the loan is paid back. And when you're done with it, that's it. It's not like a credit card where you can go back, pay it off, and then come back and go, hey, now can I borrow 800 more for a microwave? They'll say, no, that was an installment loan. It's over, but you can maybe take another one. So one of the ways I recommend to people to supplement without having to get a auto loan, but to still supplement and positively affect that score is number one. If you have student loans, make payments on them. Those are installment loans, obviously mortgages, things like that. But there's also, here we go, self-lender. Self-lender is an account that I recommend to people. Essentially, it's an installment savings account. You go in, you pledge, like I've got one that I do every year. I open it in the end of October, and I pledge $1,200. I'm gonna put $1,200 into it, and then I make monthly installment payments until I have put the $1,200 in. Then at the end of it, they send me a check for $1,200, literally 2 weeks before Black Friday. Now I got 7 kids, so that's super useful. That's what I use it for. But this is what you're going to use it for. And if you look, I got the link right there, openselflender.com. Here's what you're going to use it for. Because you're making installment payments on $1,000, a $1,200, whatever you choose, bank obligation, Self is going to report it to Equifax, to Experian, and to TransUnion as installment payments on that bank obligation. That'll round out your profile. It'll affect that auto score while you're tucking money away for a down payment on your next car or tucking money away for a rainy day. Totally a win-win. Go to openselflender.com. Great question. And so, yes, it is even possible. Penny says, Penny Pincher. I like that. I'm guessing that's probably not your real name. Jeremy, I can't get these late payments removed. Capital One verified them. What's my next move? Your next move is to send another round of investigation letters. Here's the deal. There are 27 different aspects that can be verified, validated, and documented on every trade line, every line of trade, every account on your credit report. They correspond with 27 different what are called dispute codes or condition codes. Date of last activity, DOLA, that's one of them. Balance, that's one of them. Account number, is one of them. Date of opening is one of them. The date's late. Verify that it was 30 days late in March of 19, or else I demand you delete it from my credit profile. So you go through and you do multiple rounds. This is not a one and done thing, and nobody is ever able to predict the ability of a third party to verify and validate data. But typically, you want to do about 4 or 5 rounds before you change up strategies. And what I mean by a round is sending the letter off, waiting. It's a 45-day cycle to get it back, and then go after the next aspect if it is not deleted. So what can you do? Stay the course. Stay the course, and you're going to rock this out. All right, let's see what else we got. Penny pincher, like that. All right. We got Nick. Oh, here, Denise says, Jeremy, I have 3 medical collections on my credit, third party. The bureaus keep saying it's verified, but after they sent me back that's verified, I send them a non-factual dispute with proof it's impossible. How can I handle this? TransUnion is not even telling me, or even telling me they won't reinvestigate. Okay, you have to ask about something different. You're asking about the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. That's why they're telling you they won't reinvestigate. You have to go after a completely different aspect. It could be the amount. It could be data last activity. It could be that they have your social right in association with this account. Go after every single piece. Go after different pieces each time, and make sure when you're sending those letters to TransUnion, send a photocopy of your driver's license, a photocopy of your social security card, and send a photocopy of either a voided check or a utility bill or a bank statement or a cell phone bill, something with your address on it. They will have no reason to not reinvestigate at that point in time. While you're doing this, I also want you to send a validation letter, a 609 letter, directly to the collection agency, that third-party collection agency, okay? By the time you're hammering them from every direction, this should help. Now, if you're, let's say 3 rounds in, if you've done 3 rounds of investigation letters on this medical collection and it won't budge, then I would change tactics. I would likely settle the collection and then send out another round. While settling on the collection is never the first step. We want to see if we can get deleted so we have some power to negotiate that lower settlement. Eventually, after a few times, you will want to settle it because it changes the strategy. That takes their skin out of the game. It's no longer financially feasible for them to verify and validate. So you send another round of everything out as soon as you've settled it off. That's going to be your best bet. All right, Brittany gave me some ones. Yeah, Chris says exactly. HIPAA, HIPAA, not HIPAA, HIPPA. And if someone's trying to quote a law to you and doesn't know what the acronym even is, how good do you think the rest of their info is going to be? Yeah, it's going to be that good. All right. Dwayne says, does closed student loan accounts affect your account, your credit, and can they be deleted? They can be deleted, but if they're closed in a positive status, you probably don't want to. You want to leave those because those are creating age of credit, and they're kind of a nice anchor on that. But that being said, if everything's really bad and ugly, you may want to have it deleted. So if it's closed because it charged off and it was just a train wreck and it's lates all over the place, yes, you might want to get rid of it. Otherwise, you may not want to. And I know it depends is not the answer you were looking for, but it depends. I would be able to tell you a little bit better, or one of the coaches would be able to tell you a little bit better if we were able to look into how it was reporting on your credit. But if it's old and bad, it'd be great to get rid of. If it's old and good, it'd be great to keep there. That's a good rule of thumb. Rick said, I should investigate because the account is written off. I should investigate because it's reported twice. Was not at the same address. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always, always, always investigate. Steph asks, how do I get a repo removed? I paid some of it being garnished, and then I was off maternity leave. It shows charged off. They won't respond to any letter I send to pay the rest. Wow. Okay, so if they were garnishing, that means that they got a judgment against you. This is one of the only times I'm ever going to recommend certified mail. You're going to want to send them a certified letter saying, look, if I've been attempting to get a hold of you, you failed to respond. If I don't hear from you in 30 days, I'll assume that this is paid in full and the matter is good. I promise you say something like that, you'll hear from them. If you go, basically, if you're going, hi, I'm never going to pay you ever, you'll hear from them. Now, don't threaten never to pay them ever, though, because you'll really hear from them then. Not in a good way. All right, Brittany says, how do I get a charged off credit card deleted that is still with the original creditor? It's been on my report as charged off for 3 years. So those are going to be investigation letters, Brittany. So those will go to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion because those are with the first party creditor. Remember, we only use the validation 609 letter if it is with a third party, so a collection agency. But since it's with the original credit card company, you'll use investigation letters. You send them to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and basically say approve it or remove it. And if you need a template of an investigation letter, go to the top of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, hit the tab that says Files, and read the file called Pro Tip. There's a link in there that'll give you some templates to work with. Nick says, I have self-lender. I want the highest option. I'm at 50%. Rock and roll, Nick. That was excellent. Good move. Let's see. Denise says, I sent apartments that are reporting on my credit a validation letter. They sent me a letter saying they have investigated, but yet to find sufficient evidence to validate my claim. I've sent them to delete. They sent me a copy of the balance. My name's nowhere on the paper. My ex-husband's name is. I have no idea. I've been separated for years. I was not with my husband at the time. How can I get this deleted? Thanks. Well, Denise, it's going to kind of depend if you're in a joint community property state is what it is. If you were separated, that's still married. If you're still married and you're in a community property state, unfortunately, his debt is your debt and your debt is his debt. That being said, I would hit the bureaus hard with verification letters. Verify, verify, verify. And I would send a 609 validation letter to the complex. If they said they've investigated, it doesn't matter what they've investigated. That has nothing to do with anything. If they don't send you validation, you then followed up with a letter saying you failed to validate. I demand you cease and desist any collection efforts and stuff, yada, yada, yada. We've got copies of those kicking around. All right, James says, I sent my first round of validation investigative letters. Haven't gotten a response. It's been 60 days. What should I do next? I'll tell you what. Lately, the bureaus have been terrible. Lately, the mail system has been slow. If you have ever obtained your credit from any of the bureaus using their online credit service, or if you've ever disputed online, you've given up your rights to written responses. In that case, and actually as always, I always tell everybody, if you're serious about doing credit repair, if you're serious about improving your credit, you have to have a good credit monitoring system in place. The one I recommend is smartcreditvip.com. It's got $1 million ID theft policy on it, but here's the reason you're getting it. It'll have all the data you need to investigate, but it lets you pull a 3-bureau credit report each and every month without a negative hit on your credit. So if these idiots aren't sending you back results because at some point in time they tricked you while you were doing a dispute into giving away those rights, you can look up the credit every month there and you'll still be able to stay on top of it. I would recommend a high quality credit monitoring. That's what I would suggest. All right, next question. Santiago says, hey man, should I just aim to settle and pay a collection I have instead of the pay for delete? You shouldn't do either. You shouldn't do either. The first step is never pay to delete. The first step is never to pay it. The first step is investigate, verify, validate, and investigate that it's accurate, factual, current, correct, and verifiable as of today. If not, then by law, they have to delete it. Once it's deleted, then you call and settle because you'll get the best deal on it. So verification letters, they're going to go to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Validation or 609 letters, they're going to go directly to the third-party creditor. And don't be satisfied with one round. This is not a one and done thing. You did not get into credit trouble overnight, and you sure the hell aren't going to get out of it overnight. It's a process, guys. This is reality. This is how it is. If you've noticed, we're real blunt and direct. I know I am. And it's not because I'm rude or an a-hole or anything like that. It's because I care and I'm passionate about this stuff. So is every coach from Credit Life, every admin in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group. So the first thing is you're going to want to investigate. If you've gone 3 rounds in and that hasn't yielded any fruit, then 3 rounds of investigation, then you can settle it, take their skin out of the game, investigate again. All right, the credit cards with Wells Fargo, I've investigated a few times. okay, if you have done at least 3 and all 3 have always been in writing, then I would settle the one with Wells Fargo and hit them up again. Okay. James says, sure, I have smart credit, but what do I do if they haven't responded to my letters? Do I need to send more? Yeah, you said what you're going to do is you're going to look, and if there's no changes from month to, from time to time on your smart credit, that means they verified it. And so then you're going to go after a different aspect. So like last time, if you asked account number, verify the account number. This time it's going to be balance or payment history or day of last activity. But yeah, you got the right idea. Where can I get those sample letters? Santiago says, I'll tell you, go to the top of the free credit repair advice group on Facebook. Go to the files section and look for an article called Pro Tips. Gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do a self-driven credit repair. And there are letter templates available through a link right there. Amber says, I had a student loan with SunTrust. It went into default, was sent to collection with Trellis. Now it's in good standing with Navient. Trellis is showing as a paid collection. SunTrust has several late payments. I would go after everything but Navient. I would investigate with Trellis. I would investigate. And what I would do is I'd try to get a repair. Repair is the holy grail in credit repair, okay? Normally you say, hey, if you can't verify this, delete it. I demand it. It's within my rights. A repair is where you go, okay, I demand, you have to verify, validate, and document that the payments were indeed late on such and such a date, or I demand that you remove the late remarks from the ongoing reporting of this debt. And so then they have to, and so what they do is they flip it. They take a negative account and it flips into a positive. That happens on probably about 15% of all credit investigation stuff, but that's the place to do it. Now, if it went to full on default, try to get rid of it. If it like charged off, try to get rid of it. But if it's only the lates and then it got sold over or whatever, then you're in good shape to try to repair it. Santiago said we recommend removing inquiries. No, while you're in the files section, Santiago, I want you to read an article I wrote called It's Never Inquiries. And you'll see why it's never inquiries. All right. Hey, I want to make sure that I'm getting everybody's questions from YouTube. Tyler, if you get a collection deleted and pay the debt while it's off your credit, will the collection company put it back on your credit? No, Tyler, they can't, not legally. So that's why we want to do it in this order. We want to seek deletion of the collection. Then once it's been deleted, then we settle. Because the only way it can go back on your credit is if ABC Collection Company that got deleted sells that debt to XYZ Collection Company. Now, XYZ could put it back on the credit. ABC has already lost their rights. And that is from Tyler on Credit TV on YouTube. All right, everybody. This was good. You guys think this was good? Oh, you're welcome, Tyler. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being out there and following the daily credit report and following Credit TV. Those of you who have not, by the way, checked out Credit TV, that is our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube /CREDI TV, and it's aggressive. And if you're on Credit TV but you're not in the free credit repair advice group on Facebook, I recommend you join that as well. 75,000 of us, all the admins, are FICO certified credit coaches. It's pretty legit. And by the way, if you would like, if you would like to have me as your coach, you can hire Credit Life and take part in the Credit Life program. You can have me, FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Dysock, as your credit coach. It's real easy to book a consultation. If you look at the scroll going across the bottom of the screen, that way, like that, all you do is go to www.bookcoachjd.com or www.bookcoachjeremy.com, either one. And what you'll do is you'll access my calendar directly. So this isn't one of those you reach out, you wait for a guy to call you back. You're in my calendar and you are able to block off and pick a day or an evening that works for you. Now, during your discovery call, during your consultation, we're going to talk about what's on your credit. We're going to talk about your goals and put together a plan and steps, action items, and get you enrolled in the correct services to get your credit score and your credit profile in position for all the goals you've got. www.bookcoachjd.com. And I promise you I'm awesome. And for those of you who think I'm not awesome, you're wrong because, well, I'm awesome, right? And I'm modest. That's one of my finest traits, is my modesty. Hope you guys got that. All right, here we go. Diana says, I have a store credit card that went through collections fast. 3 agencies. I wasn't able to pay due to divorce. He emptied the account. Store didn't want to hear it. Oh man, COVID right after. Hit it with investigations, okay? Fortunately, it's not going to be at some of the collection companies anymore. So if they're still on your credit, those will be easy to verify. They won't have skin in the game. They'll want to delete. It's great. Or, well, they don't want to. They just won't care. But yeah, definitely want to hit that one up with investigation letters. And I'd go after the latest third-party collection agency, and I'd hit them again with a validation or a 609 letter. Valerie says, oh, Valerie, you're wonderful, Liz. You guys need to hire Jeremy. Seriously, is at 450 or so? I'm at a 669. Keeps going up. That's wonderful. Well, it's awesome having you. We appreciate having you as a member of the group, and having you as a client, and having you as a member of Credit Life. It's fantastic. Again, if you guys would like to have me as your coach, just go to www.bookcoachjd.com, pick a day, an evening, or a weekend, and you can have Jeremy Dysak, FICO certified credit coach and the founder of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, as your coach. I'm going to wrap this up here, y'all. You've been fantastic. I appreciate all of you who watched us on Credit TV, all of you watching us on Facebook. And if you're watching one of the reruns, welcome. Don't forget, you can always join me live. Valerie, send her my way. Remember, bookcoachjd.com, and she can book directly with me. Join me every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group on Facebook and on Credit TV on YouTube for the Daily Credit Report. Every week, a different topic, all presented to you by me. Wonderful. Thanks a lot, you all. I appreciate everything. You all have a wonderful, wonderful week until I talk to you next. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credit Life, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.